It's still too cold for these vines to fill with grapes, but their owner can afford to be patient. This organic wine producer on the outskirts of Kyiv produces 23 different types of wine.
In 2016, I planted a plot here and started experimenting, making mistakes and more mistakes. And then, in 2019, I got a license and started producing craft wine at home.
Craft wines are a relatively new thing in Ukraine. Wine isn't historically part of its drinking culture, but that's changing.
It's skin contact technology. It's very interesting wine.
And surprisingly, the war here in the long term seems to have given the industry a boost.
There
was no fuel and no workers early on in the war, as many fled or joined the fight. Then, later in the year, sales increased for us because we were able to reach more restaurants throughout central and western Ukraine. A lot of people moved there because of the war and started to pay more attention to Ukrainian wines, and restaurants are ordering more as a result.
Sales are now up by 20% since before the war.
You may not think of Ukraine as a wine-making country, but it's an industry that's been growing over the years, both in production and consumption. And what the war has done is turn more and more Ukrainians to homegrown products, and that includes wine.
Alexander describes the wine to this group of friends, and they're eager to learn more. This bar only sells Ukrainian produce. And Alexander tells us, in more than 10 years as a sommelier, this last year of war has been the first in which he's focused more on Ukrainian wines.
I think Ukrainian people start to drink more Ukrainian wines during the last year because of patriotism, first of all, and second one, I think the quality of Ukrainian wines during the last few years increased a lot.
That seems to be the consensus here.
Wines of Ukrainian production are the future. From my point of view, we can compete with other countries because our wines are really tasty and beautiful, have a wonderful blend, and I hope there will be a new trend in Ukraine.
The war has made many people prouder of being Ukrainian, and they want to learn more about what's being produced here. And they're increasingly preferring to spend their money on what's being grown at home. Stefanie Dekker, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.